Hello ladies and gentlemen, what's going on? I am Darnock with TGN bringing you another Starcraft 2 1v1 cast. Just like the previous video, we are going to be rocking another ladder replay. This time though, we have a PvP, which I am pretty stoked for because I really like the PvP matchup right now. It's definitely the least evolved. Well, that makes it sound bad. It's definitely the least mapped out matchup at this time, which means it is the one that's most in the state of turmoil, of chaos, and of evolving. So it's really cool to watch the metagame shift almost daily as far as PvP goes. The map is going to be Antigua Shipyards. In the upper left spawn position, we have Type Real, who is a South Korean player who has been making more buzz for himself lately. He hasn't won anything completely huge or anything like that, but he did place 4th in IEM Sao Paulo about a month ago, I think that was. So that was a very strong finish for him. He's also one of those players that really hits those daily and weekly tournaments, especially on the European server, very hard, and he's been winning quite a few of those. Him and Violet are personally responsible for a huge percentage of all Play-Em daily tournaments won. It's actually kind of silly how much they win and how consistent they are in those things. So that's really how Real is a good player. Now his opponent is going to be BX backwards E ImbaDude, and we're just going to call him ImbaDude. I have no idea who this guy is. Like I said, this is a ladder replay, so chances are this is not a pro player. It's just a very strong amateur who's in Grandmaster League, in the High Masters, and is good enough. He hits pro players from time to time, which is really what we all aspire to do. So pretty stoked to see how this PvP does work out, and I am just so excited to see how this game goes. It did come very highly recommended, so hopefully it's going to be a good one. Now, thus far, both players doing the exact same build orders. As you can see, they throw down their gateway, then they get that first round of gas with that assimilator, and that's where we are right now. Now, even though things look like they could be a 4-gate right now, chances are we're not going to see that. This is Antigua Shipyards, which of course does have a ramp in between your natural and your main, and even past that there's a ramp out from your natural onto the rest of the map. So this is one of the tougher maps to 4-gate on. It does happen from time to time. Sometimes players are able to pull that out and abuse a weakness in their opponent's armor, or just out-micro them, simply just have higher APM, but most of the time 4-gate's not really an option to see on this particular map. And I do like this map. Antigua Shipyard's very nice, even in non-mirror matchups. Obviously, the map, as long as it's not Tal'Darim Altar, the map doesn't really matter for PvP. It's all the same for the most part. But even for non-mirror matchups, I really do like Antigua Shipyard's. Very balanced. It's very good. Now, both players are taking their second gases right now, as you can see. Again, basically mirroring each other. They each have one Zealot out as well. However, Type Real is going for a Stalker follow-up, whereas our red Protoss player, ImbaDude, okay, now he's building that Stalker from his gateway, but it is just a little bit late, a little bit off, and that comes down to the fact that, honestly, not because Real is Korean, but because Real has that Korean mindset. He's obviously played the game a lot more and has more refined builds, and whoa, my frame rate is not happy. It wants this probe to live as long as possible. You see a nice little game of chickens being played there between the probe and the Zealot. That probe is eventually going to be able to make it home free, as it is speedier than that poor Zealot who has been tasked to follow him. And now, okay, we do have some divergence between the two builds. We're going to see that ImbaDude is going for a Twilight Council, almost certainly for Blink Stalkers. Could be Dark Templar. Could be Dark Templar. If he only adds one more gateway, it's almost certainly going to be a Dark Templar rush here from ImbaDude, whereas his opponent, Real, is going for a quick robotics facility, which is a little bit safer. He is going to have that Observer out, could get some Immortals out as well. And, okay, there we go. The third gateway is coming, so I am thinking more and more that this is going to be a Blink Stalker play here from ImbaDude, and yep, there is the Blink upgrade on the way. So we are going to see this game go on a little bit longer. Antigua Shipyards is a pretty good map for Blink, just because, as you can see here at the bottom of Real's base, there is a lot of just empty space for the most part, where ImbaDude can get an Observer over here and then blink up onto the high ground. Now, if you will excuse me, I do have to cough. There we go. Cough switches are most glorious to help prevent that sort of thing. This is a really interesting build from Real, and I'm not sure how much I like it. You see, he's gone for one gate into a Robo facility, into a Twilight Council. Now he's getting the Blink upgrade from the Twilight Council and a Warp Prism from this robotics facility. This is very strange indeed. He's just not going to have very many units compared to ImbaDude. Okay, no, he does have 2 more gateways on the way now, which is good. That is going to be helpful, but for the time being, if ImbaDude just tries to go up Real's ramp, Real could be in a little bit of trouble, and that is what ImbaDude's plan is right now. He does have a proxy pylon getting warped into the main portion of the map. However, Real does have this warp prism on the way, but oh, ImbaDude does spot it. Okay, and Real does turn that around in time. If ImbaDude had reacted a little bit more quickly, he may have been able to take this down. Now, keep in mind, ImbaDude does have that blink upgrade finished, so if he wants to, he can blink right under that warp prism and take it out relatively quickly. Now, ooh, this is a risky play from Real. He's bringing that warp prism out once again. However, ImbaDude is now out of position. And is there a sentry in the main base of Real, or is he just doing this? There's no sentry here, folks. These Protoss units are just going to make it directly into Real's base. Now, of course, Real, he has dropped a lot of units into the main base of ImbaDude. He's warping in more as well, so this game just got really, really weird. We have an 8-minute base trade here, ladies and gentlemen, which I think is a first for me throughout all my games of commentating StarCraft 2. I don't think I've ever seen anything quite like this, so this is strange. Now, ImbaDude has pulled off these probes really, really quickly. Real's starting to do the same. However, ImbaDude is going to blink out upon them and kill quite a few. Now, one thing I do want to point out is Real has a lot more minerals than ImbaDude does right now. He has 535 minerals compared to the 175 of the red Protoss player, so Real can, in fact, build an entire additional Nexus if he really needs to. Keep in mind, a Nexus only costs 400 minerals, so he does have that power. ImbaDude, on the other hand, he's down to 50 minerals. I don't think he really has anything else across the map other than these 2 proxy pylons, so he can't afford anything else right now. Those probes are basically dead weight. They're just going to be used to try and chump all those blue Protoss units and see if they're able to make anything happen. So right now, both players are amusing themselves with killing each other's bases, which is a pretty reasonable place to start in this base trade scenario. If we go ahead and look at the units count, we'll see that ImbaDude has 1 Zealot and 10 Stalkers, whereas Real has 1 Zealot and 5 Stalkers. However, he also has that Sentry. He also has the Warp Prism, which does give him some more mobility, and he has that Observer. So even though ImbaDude certainly has just a stronger army as far as actual dealing damage to things goes, Real certainly has increased mobility and increased map awareness compared to ImbaDude. You see, Real does have this Observer right over those Stalkers right now. He is keeping tabs on the entire army of ImbaDude right now. So, that was an embarrassing blink to see from our red Protoss player, but Real is going to know exactly where ImbaDude is. Now, ImbaDude is bringing his forces back over here. He could either be looking for the Nexus that Real has planted down in the lower right corner, or he's coming back to defend his base. That's probably the more likely decision here from ImbaDude. I don't think he knows about this yet. No, he does not, and he should know that he does have stronger units than his opponent. Alternatively, he could just be trying to protect his pylons, which looks like that's what he's doing with the majority of his Stalkers, while he does scout out for that final Nexus. Now, the probes are moving to the low right of the map over here. They're going to spot this pylon. Yep, there comes the probe Centipede, and that's going to get surrounded and killed pretty quickly here. But will ImbaDude spot the Nexus as well? He should. He should bring that up over here. Now, keep in mind, Real could cancel this. Actually, he can't cancel this. He cannot. He has no buildings other than this Nexus, so he has to let this finish. If he does cancel it, he does lose the game, which would be a little bit silly. Now, there is 1 Zealot from Real over here attacking this pylon. It has gotten no shields. It is down to the yellow health as well. And, oh, at the same time, great play here from Real. Nice 2-point aggression, going for the pylon in the middle of the map. At the same time, the probes have surrounded the Nexus of Real. This is going to be so, so close. The pylon in the middle of the map does go down. Real going for the last pylon on the map. In the meantime, the Nexus is in the green. No shields. The probes are continuing to whittle down its health. This is the closest game I've ever seen, and I think ImbaDude is going to take this. This pylon is not going to go down, and the Nexus will fall. And I think that's the game, is it not? No, Real has thrown down 1 more pylon. He's thrown down 1 desperate pylon. He has no money left at all, but it should not be enough. ImbaDude does clean up the remainder of those probes that Real did have, and even though he can't actually surround it, there we go, he does bring his units around. The game's not over. The game's not over. Real does have 1 more assimilator. I keep counting Real out, but no, that guy is tenacious. He does have 1 assimilator warping in to the top right of the map. He does still have his warp prism with a single sentry inside it, and as long as ImbaDude keeps his units here, he should be... Does this work? Does this actually win? ImbaDude cannot get up above the ramp here. This sentry has enough force field energy for 2 more force fields. He can do this exact same thing again. There it goes. ImbaDude is trying to blink up. It's not going to happen. Is this Sentry going to win the game? ImbaDude thinks so, and the pylon does go down to the final Sentry. I can't believe it. Type real with some of the clutchest play I have ever seen in my entire life. Does take this game. You see, he hasn't even left it. He is completely shocked that he was able to pull this one out for himself. That was actually an incredible game. This Sentry is just so happy. It's gone wild with the bloodlust trying to pick away at those stalkers, which are completely lethargic in their defeat. Wow, that was actually insane. So, thanks for watching, guys. That was easily the craziest StarCraft 2 game I have ever casted. I have been Darnlock. Sub to the show, sub to the channel if you want more StarCraft 2 games. I can't promise any of them will be as incredible as this one, but they are all pretty good. Once again, thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye.